People are surprised. They're surprised, especially even the neighbors where this was uncovered. They had no idea anything like this was going on around there. And does this concern you, or is this usually the tactics of drug barons and traffickers?
Yeah, absolutely. We're not taken by surprise because that's part of their modus operandi. Like where we busted the meth cartel in VGC, that's Victoria Garden City, Lekki area of Lagos.
Right.
We did in our statement. We did alert the public that indeed this is how these people operate. They go to exclusive locations where access is usually restricted,
right,
so as to stay away from the prying eyes of security agents.
Right.
And so that's why you find them hiding in residential areas, in estates where there are restricted access to members of the public. So it's part of their system, their mechanism to stay off the radar, to stay in hiding, to remain anonymous, sort of. And in fact, when we got into the Oboh estate in Ikorodu,
right,
quite the neighborhood, they were shocked that these compounds, their words were actually that this is a ghost house. So they never believed, something of this volume could be gotten out of this place, because for them it's like an abandoned property, nobody there. But whereas the manager of this warehouse was right inside the compound, but obviously because of the way they operate, you could hardly find them. Anytime when the people are around or when they are available, they obviously sneak in there in the wee hours of the day or late in the night when there are when people are in bed, all those kind of things. So these are parts of it. So for us, it's not a surprise, but for the people in that neighborhood, it was a huge surprise. And that's why when we were going there, we prepared because we didn't want to have any surprises. We prepared fully armed with hundreds of our men, our strike force, that's the elite unit of the agency, well trained, well armed. In addition to that, we had to get men of the Nigerian military to give us additional fire support. And with all of that, we're able to do a success, because I've had people say, "Oh, how can you get 1.8 tons of cocaine without shoot out, without people, without incidents?" But because we actually prepared fully for it, we didn't want to be taken by surprises. But not that there were no moves to sabotage the effort, but then because we fully prepared and we're able to silence some of those underground moves. With that kind of magnitude of seizure, they are already in. I'll tell you. Let me before I go into that, I'll tell you something very interesting and very funny, because you see, these are people that never thought they could be gotten, and so in a particular arrest, because the arrest took 2 days. It was an operation that lasted 2 days, because not all of them, because they were picked from different locations across the state, and some in some hideous hotels, and people of that caliber would be. So that is, and I recall that in a particular place when one of them was arrested because of the shock. He had to poo-poo on his body, because for him, he was like, how did you people get, how? He was just asking, how?
Oh dear.
That shows the surprise element.
You can run, but you can't hide, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. So having said that, I'll tell you that indeed, for them, they will definitely have their day in court. For the ultimate goal is to get them diligently prosecuted and convicted, sent to serve the prison terms stipulated by the law. And beyond that, the illicit substances which were already were housed at the central exhibit of the agency would also have to, at the end of the prosecution, be publicly destroyed. We also have to take it as a challenge for us to actually go all out to do all we can for to prevent people from taking drugs through our advocacy initiatives, which was launched last year under the banner of War Against Drug Abuse. That is to mobilize everybody to take ownership of the fight. Taking ownership of the fight is educating people to know the dangers inherent in abuse of illicit substances so that we can prevent people from taking illicit substances. Beyond that, again, for those that are already taking, we also have the program to actually take care of them, to treat them, and that's why rehab centers, counseling and rehab centers are attached to our state commands across the country to attend to people. Beyond that, again, we are partnering with the state government so that they can also build rehab centers. So it's not what we are doing solely all alone. We are working even within the private sector. We have approached a number of the leading lights in the private sector for them to also make sure, for them to also contribute, build rehab centers that people, because we have, I tell you, all our counseling and rehab centers across the country are filled to the brim.